Oh, you got to hear this.
What?
So we're in commercial before, right? Before the Mary Jo Buttafuoco conversation?
Yes.
And Jackie leaves the room and Fred leaves the room. So who's that leave alone in the room?
You and Crackhead Bob.
Me and Crackhead Bob. So all of a sudden he starts grunting. So I'm like, uh-oh. I'm trying to read the paper.
You're trying to ignore him.
But yeah, so I hear, Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, what's this? And I'm looking over for Fred and Jackie because let them deal with him. Or Gary or one of these people.
Time to entertain.
Right. So he starts grunting something. I don't know what he's saying. It's like being in a room with Frankenstein. You know what it's like,
about that.
Yeah, he goes, you know, it's like
by the time you heard the grunting, he'd probably been trying to get something out the whole time.
Yeah, I thought he was going to, take me down the river and drown me. So, it's easier to talk to my dog, I swear to God, because,
Joppa makes more sense.
Absolutely.
Say something to the dog.
Right. So, anyway, he's like, So I go, what? I go, Bob. Bob, what's the matter? So he takes his hand and he starts pushing a crude, business card, crumpled up business card toward me.
Yes.
And he goes, this. So I go, all right. So I read the card. It's a strip club card.
Yes.
And with a girl's phone number on the back. And he's like, girl.
I think he was trying to give you a girl.
Yeah, so I go, I said, Bob, is this some girl who wants to meet me or come on the show? So I realized that I'm wrong. So then, for 10 minutes, it's like, So I said, is this a girl that wants to go out with you? So I'm like, yeah. So he's like, yeah. Then he starts pointing over by the guys, and he's pointing and So I figure out, I must be a genius. I now believe I'm a genius because
I figured this all out.
I figure out that he wants to take a stripper he met at a strip club who's given him the phone number.
Yes.
On a date to Jackie's show.
Oh! How did you get that?
I don't know.
You are kidding.
And Bob's like,
That's a game.
What?
One name. I'm a table now. And all my girlfriends, what's going on up there? And they leave.
Right. Nobody's interested in you.
My girlfriend, well, not a girlfriend, but he was nice, and he talked with me.
So you can see my dilemma. So this was going on.
She's different than the other girls. She's nice. She actually spends time with him.
Yeah. You understood that.
Now I got something.
Wow.
Well,
so when he says he means
you're a genius, too.
Right.
I mean, a black guy or, you're...
A black guy.
That's not me.
You're not a black guy?
No.
What is he saying?
I'm a man. He's a woman. But
she's black?
She's black.
She's black.
Yeah, wait a second, though. He's saying something that he's a man and you, Robin, are a man.
No. His girlfriend, he's trying to tell you the girlfriend you're going to call is black.
I'm not calling her.
Well, he would like you to call her.
So a black woman is interested.
Yeah, well,
and you don't like that.
I don't know about that, but it's just call up and it's, we'll talking.
Now, you don't like necessarily black women?
No.
Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
But he's so lonely.
Don't go back.
Are you saying you don't necessarily go out with black women, but because you're so lonely you will in this case?
No. If you're okay with me, I'm okay with you. If you're going to be...
you're very liberal.
Pissed off, then I'm going to be pissed off.
Who would know if you're pissed off?
Well, I thought it's the same.
All right, so I decipher that he wants 2 tickets to Jackie's big show tomorrow night.
To go with his girlfriend.
To take the black girlfriend.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if he's going to come. I'm going to call up, but,
What are you going to call up for? We can't understand you. We're right here.
Who's he want to call up?
The girl, to ask her to Jackie's show. He doesn't know if she'll go with him.
You want to make a call to her now?
Well, I don't know.
We could help him, because how do you think that phone call is going to go?
I just want to listen in.
Let him ask first.
All right. Here's what I'll do. I'll take a break. I'll give the phone number to Gary. When we get back, he'll get her on the line.
Okay.
And you can talk to her, and you can ask her out. Jackie, can he have some tickets to your show?
We'll absolutely give him tickets.
He goes, he was like, free.
What happened, Crackhead?
Point to Jackie, free.
Faye.
What do you mean?
I don't know if she's going to come, but we'll just test. That's all.
Okay. What, you in the strip club and she was nice to you, so now you think she's going to...
Yeah.
And she called up.
So it wasn't like she said she wanted to go to the show. This is just an idea he put together somehow.
Right.
Independent thinking.
You know what's great about Bob? He was telling us about this girl before, but, you know, things are screwed up in his brain. It's not his fault.
Right.
And he kept talking about a black guy.
Right.
And I go, you going out with a black guy? And he's like, yeah, black guy.
No.
So then I go, a guy? And he goes, no. And he goes, I ain't no daggett.
No daggett.
Not me.
Not daggett.
He's deck.
But,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's an understatement.
But this, I mean, they will. That's
I know you're your own person and she's her own person.
No, well that Jordan. But woman, I'm okay. I mean, they will though, but I'm okay. But all the time.
I missed you.
You know what hurts? You can't understand the two-syllable word, but he wants to see my show.
Crackhead Bob's brother's on the line real quick. Yeah, what is it?
Sid.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah.
Bob.
What?
How you doing?
This is his brother. This is
I can't understand.
This is Crackhead John.
I don't think.
What is it, John?
Brad. You want to go shopping today?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's okay with me.
I'm okay with you.
Okay.
All right, there he is. Having a Crackhead Bob's girl. I guess he stood you up. Won't be the first time.
No.
You know, he had a glimmer of hope.
Hey, talk to me for real. Don't do any shtick. Are you really lonely?
Yeah.
You are. What is your day like?
I am lonely.
Yeah, what is your day like?
Well, in the morning, son. And when you are off, then I walk.
Right.
And then...
he just walks for miles and miles and miles.
Yeah. He's still fat.
Yeah.
Well, he can't get up much speed.
Right. I think dragging that stroked out leg and arm would get him in good shape.
And then, guns, movie, you know.
Lunch? Where do you go to lunch?
You know, at my house.
Yeah.
And you go to movies?
Movies, a little bit.
You walk to the movies?
Yeah. Like 1 hour and a half to a movie.
Oh, wow.
You walk to a movie for an hour and a half, and then you sit in the movie theater for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then you walk back for an hour.
You walk back for an hour and a half. That takes up a lot of the day.
Well, at least you do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's lonely.
It's only you would like to have a girl.
Yeah.
Right.
Something to share this with.
Where were we?
It's time for Bob's News. Bob's News.
Go ahead, Robin. What is in the news?
Getting all the notes.
All right, please, Bob. Yeah, Crackhead Bob is with us. See him at Eagle Rock Ski Lodge in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, June 11th. Meet the magic. That is Crackhead Bob.
All right. We've got lots of news and a short time to do it in.
Yes.
So I'll skip that story.
Go ahead.
Go right to the Littleton tragedy. They found a 20-pound bomb.
Wow. Now, how did they get that into the school?
That's what everybody's wondering. And now they think that they must have had accomplices.
Right.
Someone to help, because there were more than 30 bombs stashed throughout the school. And then this huge bomb in the kitchen. And they don't know how it was smuggled in. It was too large to, put under a coat. And it was very heavy. So... They say that one was hooked up to like a gas drum, and that could have done significant damage. So not only were they out to, kill a bunch of people, by shooting them, but they must have wanted to completely destroy the school. So that's what they think. And now they're going to really get into a detailed investigation, doing interviews with their friends and associates in an effort to find out who, if anyone, helped them. They think there were only 2 gunmen.
Right.
But certainly this was a lot of planning, and they don't think they could have done it by themselves. Janet Reno was out there visiting. She's taking an active role in the investigation, and she had this to say about the students who are coping with the tragedy.
It just gets you. You say, if they can do it, this nation can cope with so many of its problems. They're an inspiration.
Well...
And she also called on lawmakers to come up with solutions for school violence.
There really isn't a lot of solutions.
Yeah, especially in the law.
Yeah.
Message, and I think it's an important message. Do not politicize this. Look at it very carefully, analyze it, let's work together to understand it, and then let's try to come up with solutions. And I think that's what we will be about.
The White House says that President Clinton is considering several gun control initiatives in the wake of the tragedy, and California Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein says that the National Rifle Association has managed to block such measures in the past.
It is time to break the NRA's lock on the Congress of the United States. This nation is awash in guns.
And Feinstein drives home her point.
Any juvenile or any adult can get virtually any gun anywhere on the streets of America, and it must stop.
The NRA, strange as it may seem, actually has a meeting scheduled in Denver.
Whoa.
And they say they will continue with those plans. So they're not going to be swayed by this tragedy one bit. They're going to continue with the National Rifle Association says it will hold a meeting in Denver next week, despite the wishes of city officials. The NRA has already scaled back the conference in the wake of the tragedy. I guess it was supposed to be 3 days, and they have curtailed it to a single day, canceling some seminars, luncheons, and exhibits. The only sideline event left on the calendar, a reception for Republican Congressman J.C. Watts of Oklahoma, has also been canceled.
Now, some of the bombs these kids were making, by the way, and this is my point, that if somebody wants to do something like this, you can't stop them. Some of the bombs they're making, they use propane tanks, like 20-gallon propane tanks.
Right.
How the hell did they get that into school?
They're huge.
How do you hide that from your parents?
That was the biggest bomb. They only used one of them.
Only one of those?
Only one. But still, that's a hard bomb to hide. But they say they were hanging out. They were seen during, like, the after party of the senior prom.
Right.
And they think maybe during the night, when not too many people were paying attention, they might have smuggled it in. But then again, who knows? So anyway, as I said, the police are now looking into whether they had accomplices. Here's Sergeant Jim Parr of Jefferson County, the Sheriff's Department.
All right.
We believe that we have the 2 people that were actually involved in the shooting accounted for. Some of the students are saying that there may have been another gunman. The physical evidence at this point does not indicate that.
So they don't think there were any other gunmen. And here is the spokesman for the Sheriff's Department again, who says the discovery of the 20-pound propane bomb in the school's kitchen leads police to believe that others may have been involved.
We cannot rule out the possibility that there may have been other people who were aiding these 2 gunmen, maybe in the collection of bomb components, maybe in the construction of the bombs, transportation of the bombs.
And they say in some of the accounts that what's so scary about this is how normal these 2 kids appeared to be.
I don't know.
Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, they say they were living double lives, that people didn't know that they were involved with Hitler and doing videos where but they showed this video in school where they reenacted gunmen in long coats going into the school and blowing students away.
Yeah, right.
Yes, didn't they say they knew that the one kid was making bombs, though?
Yeah.
They said that he was paid in explosives, but the parents apparently were completely oblivious.
Your parents never really do know, you know. I swear to God, because, like, my parents would go to school and they would tell my parents that I was withdrawn and quiet and moody, and then my mother would go, "That's not my son."
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Meanwhile, I was flipping out.
It's all right. They said that Harris was a great video game player.
Yeah, you know, I don't trust video game players.
He played the game Doom.
Oh.
The shoot-'em-up computer game.
Yeah.
He played it for hours and hours in his bedroom.
You know who else plays that? Jeff Schick. Hours and hours.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, Klebold used to come over and play the game with him. But that was it. They didn't seem to feel that these kids were headed for trouble. And there may have been a suicide note left.
No.
In which Harris said, "Don't blame anyone for this. This is how we want to go out."
Wow.
Meanwhile, the president is saying, just because you get dissed in school, that's no reason to blow everybody away.
Yeah, if anyone should have blown everyone away, it's President Clinton. He goes, look how he's getting.
Taken out Congress.
Talk about a guy who got persecuted for a little oral sex.
Yeah.
Man.
Most people would have had their whole lives destroyed, but not Clinton.
No.
He's got major backbone.
You could say anything to him. He'll just let it slide off him.
And Minnesota Governor Jesse the Body Ventura is finding himself in a little trouble because of what he said the other day.
Now, what did he say?
I reported to you that he said, his quote was, if someone had had a gun in that school, it wouldn't have been such an atrocity because they would have been able to fire back.
Oh, you know what? I don't think that's a dumb statement.
Now,
I think the teachers should be armed.
Politically,
yeah.
It sounded like he was saying the students should be armed. He wasn't specific about who should be armed.
I'll tell you.
He didn't realize there was an armed guard in the school at the time who traded fire with the gunman.
Is that right?
Yeah. He missed, and then he went to call for backup, which is standard procedure.
Yeah.
So now Jesse is saying that it was wrong.
He missed.
How did he miss? He missed.
Bunch of kids.
How many times?
Who was it, Barney Fife? How did you miss that? Oh, maybe.
I think it's easy.
Although probably what was going through his head is, maybe I shouldn't be firing on kids. You're so... It's such a fast thing.
You acted too fast.
It is a tough thing.
But he did fire back.
Yeah. Oh, he did?
Yeah.
And he missed. Too bad. Too bad.
So Jesse says, I regret that I responded to the questions concerning conceal and carry issues in relationship to the tragic situation in Littleton, Colorado.
Oh, Jesse, you were right. If the teachers had guns, this is my theory, they could fire on these these students are going to pop up every once in a while.
He said, I believe that except for uniformed police officers, a school is no place for weapons.
But he said the other day he thought there should be weapons.
Well,
who do you believe?
He's backtracking now. He says he regrets mixing this incident with the conceal and carry issue. Because he has been a proponent of conceal and carry.
Yep.
But not at school now.
I'm a proponent of conceal and carry. I am.
Good.
I tell you, I wish my kids could, because if someone gets nuts, at least they can blow them away.
Yeah.
Well, what the kids are carrying is cell phones.
Can't shoot anybody with that.
I think they should put pro wrestlers in the hallways of these schools.
They say that there have been a run on cellular phones in a lot of places besides Denver in the wake of this tragedy. So parents in various parts of the country, including Denver, say they're concerned about their children's safety.
What good is
they're
that?
Buying cell phones.
A cell phone? What, so you can call your parents?
You can call your dad, and he can come down with his conceal and carry gun.
I guess.
Hi, Pop, I'm about to die.
I know. And let me tell you something. People were doing that. But what good is that? 2
Columbine freshmen who don't have the portable phones say they want one after Tuesday's tragedy, and they're not alone.
You know, my daughter, this is crazy, because my daughter was talking about this. In her class, there's so many kids with portable phones, they ring through the whole class, and they got to throw kids out.
Of course. You can't have that during the lesson.
And quite frankly, what good is a cell phone going to do you? Although maybe you can call the cops or something.
That's what, they're saying. There are some cell phones that only dial 911. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, they're very cheap, like a $50 phone or something.
So maybe schools should have an alarm like a bank.
And the only thing they can do is call 911 on that phone.
You need teachers to be armed. That's the bottom line. Because that way they could, pull guns out and start firing right away.
You know those buttons when the bandit holds up the bank and the girl reaches under and pushes the button?
Like that, yeah. So every desk should be equipped.
Yeah. If cops could have guns, why can't teachers? I'm telling you.
Now teachers will have to be excused to go to the firing range.
Well, it's the reality of our world.
President Clinton has also announced that he wants to help the victims of the Colorado school shooting. He's just announced that the government will be giving $1.5 million to the community of Littleton. Clinton also unveiled a grant that will put more police officers in the nation's schools. And there have been a rash of copycat incidents following the shootings.
That always freaks me out.
In Pennsylvania, at least 4 schools report trouble, including one where an apparent pipe bomb was hidden on the roof. That school will be shut down today, as will another one where officials heard rumors of potential violence.
Right.
In Texas, hundreds of parents pulled their children from the middle school after a 14-year-old allegedly threatened to shoot a classmate. It was one of several incidents in the Lone Star State, including one in which a 7th grader showed friends a list of 35 students she wished were dead. In Jersey, 3 students are suspended after apparently showing up for class in black trench coats and pretending to fire guns and throw bombs. So, that always happens.
Right.
People trying to get in on the fun. Calling false alarms at the West Deptford High School. They received a bomb threat this morning. So the Monmouth County authorities cleared out that school. They also charged a Red Bank Regional High School student with making terroristic threats. Authorities say a 17-year-old made statements to the effect of what happened in Colorado would happen here. 2 Red Bank Regional girls were sent email to classmates urging them not to come to school today, so they got suspended. So it's just happening all over. It's like an epidemic. And a tragedy in California is being linked to the school shooting in Littleton, Colorado. A Southern California teenager has taken his life. In his suicide note, the 17-year-old, whose name is Gerardo Lopez, says that he was saddened by the shootings and tired of seeing so many kids getting killed.
So he killed himself?
Yes, Lopez's body was found on Wednesday in his backyard in the San Fernando Valley. He had hung himself.
That's wow.
The boy's family tells a local newspaper that Lopez had been treated for depression and had talked about wanting to die. His note said that he felt different than everyone else and didn't want to end up in the same way it ended in Colorado.
You mean he was maybe having false feelings of, like, having to kill people?
Right, so he offed himself first.
Oh,
Other fallout, the April 30th Marilyn Manson show scheduled for Denver has been canceled.
And why is
Mayor's
that?
Request.
At whose request?
Mayor's request.
Oh, at the mayor's request. Yeah, you might as well.
And Marilyn Manson has released a statement regarding the shootings. In it, he says, I have been asked to comment by numerous news organizations on the Colorado school tragedy. It's tragic and disgusting anytime young people's lives are taken in an act of senseless violence. My condolences go out to the students and their families.
I feel like all of a sudden he's linked to this.
All these rock groups, are... I heard them talking about Marilyn Manson on The View yesterday.
What do those geniuses have to say?
And they were saying, this is really awful because now he's getting more airplay than he ever got before.
Are they retarded on that show? That shows.
Maybe we should just stop talking about it.
That show's about as bad as the views on that Politically Incorrect when actors and actresses get on and start giving their political views. What does he have to do with any of this, Marilyn Manson? The only thing more senseless is to blame him for this. So childish. The View. How can that be successful?
It boggles the mind.
It sure does.
Some angry women on that show. Yesterday, when I was...
I don't think any of them have any men in their lives.
Meredith Vieira is married.
Who is?
Meredith Vieira.
Well, there's a party.
She took a pillow and started beating up one of the stagehands.
With a pillow?
I mean, but she was really, you should have seen the look on her face and the viciousness, because they were talking about PMS. And then he said that he didn't believe women had PMS, that they just used that as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
And so she took the pillow and started beating him with it. Like, geez, that looks like she really wants it to hurt. Even one of the other yentas said, boy, you really hit him.
Yentas. Dentist. Dentist. Did you say yenta? You can't even say that, can you? Denta. What?
Denta.
Denta.
Everything comes out with a D.
I'm sorry.
Well, his stroke really messed him up.
Yeah.
Those glasses.
What now?
They say Kirk Douglas's speech might come back. What about Crackhead Bob?
What about me?
Let's see what else is going on. MTV did a special the other night called, it had something to do with children who go berserk.
Oh, yeah, it was called Live from Jokeland.
Live from Jokeland?
Right.
Will you... Oh, dear. I don't have the name of it, but I do have some sound from it. Here are two students reacting, or this is from an MTV News report, actually. Two students' reactions on the kids in the trench coat mafia.
I know a couple other people in my group, and they don't have these issues. These kids had deeper issues than the trench coat mafia or the nonconformist group. They had this kid had deeper issues of fascination with Hitler and problems with minorities, and it was a deeper level of hatred that had just grown.
They really didn't go into a gothic thing. That's something kind of the media has created, and it's kind of aggravated me. This whole trench coat mafia thing's been blown out of proportion. All it is a group of kids who felt a little outcast and started wearing trench coats.
Look what all these kids are into. They have groups and gothic. And...
Yeah, everything's got a name.
Yeah. Sure.
The MTV special about violent teens is called Warning Signs. They'll repeat it this evening. The host is Serena Alchel.
She's a very serious reporter.
MTV News.
Will she be wearing a miniskirt?
Here she talks about the show's goals, Howard. Number 20. Or number 26.
Number 26, you say?
Mm-hmm.
We really just wanted to put out some of the most obvious warning signs.
Whatever happened to that other broad on MTV used to be the newswoman? The one with the...
Tabitha
Soren.
Don't know.
Well, they just get rid of people. It's like the homeless in New York City. They just disappear.
And say, don't be afraid to come forward to an adult or to a professional, to a teacher, to someone you trust, and say, you know what, my friend or my sister or even...
She was like a model or something, and they just made her a newswoman.
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah, now she's all serious.